I'd like to call this meeting of the Sacramento City Council to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Thank you. Councilmember Harris?
Present.
Councilmember Jennings?
Here.
Councilmember Guerra?
Here.
Councilmember Chenier?
That would be me.
Vice Mayor Hanson?
Here.
And Councilmember Ashby? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Taylor, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, everybody, this is going to be a short meeting. We have the Planning Commission in here tonight. Madam Clerk, we're going to take up the consent calendar first, and we did not have a closed session, so there's no report out.
Correct. I have two speakers on the consent calendar, Craig Powell and Mac Worthy.
Mr. Powell, please.
Vice Mayor Hanson, how are you tonight? Members of the council, it's good to see all of you, all five, I guess. I'm here appearing on item number 1, which is a proposal to enter into a contract or an amended contract with CBRE Hotels to hire them to do forecasts of TOT, hotel tax, in order to perhaps justify further bond sales and to be used in connection with those bond sales. In other words, to potentially be relied upon by investors. Normally in a situation like that, you want that expert to indemnify the city in case the projections turn out to be bad and the city gets sued under securities laws. This contract turns that on its ears. It's the city who is indemnifying CBRE if CBRE's forecasts turn out to be bad. The city taxpayer is going to be picking up the liability costs, the attorney's fees, which in these kind of cases can be hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions. And I'm thinking to myself, who in the world negotiated a contract where the people who are doing the forecasting are being indemnified for the government agency who is supposed to be the beneficiary of those forecasts? It's completely backwards. I hope you table this and reconsider it. The real reason I came here tonight, though, was to challenge the mayor to a public debate on Measure U. We have some dates set aside at the Clooney Clubhouse in McKinley Park in the first week of October. So we wanted to do a public challenge to the mayor to do a one-on-one traditional debate for 90 minutes.
Mr. Powell, because this is not on the consent calendar, we'd ask you to save those comments for matters not on
It is related to the convention center, because that convention center project is one we're going to talk about, and its fiscal burdens on the city. So it's tangentially, but still related, Mr. Presiding Officer. And I look forward to conveying that to the mayor directly. I was hoping he'd be here tonight. And we will do that tomorrow through our representatives. So
thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Powell.
for your time.
Have a good night.
And Mac Worthy is also speaking on item number 1.
Mr. Worthy, have comments?
Good afternoon, panel. Main concern is these type of things comes to me as buyers and hires. Any hotel is a corporation. They got their own advisors. So you don't have to come through the city administration for an advisor. So that's somebody you owe something to, that you are getting them there and giving them a job. See, those are the things that you got to get out of this city. And the only way we get out of this city is the people to listen. And I'm not here for nobody to do me no favor. I'm here to help the general public understand how they're being pimped. And that's how I'm here.
Thank you, Mr. Worthy. Do we have a motion on the consent calendar? We have a motion from Councilmember Jennings, a second from Councilmember Guerra. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries unanimously. Madam Clerk, on to the next item.
The next item is number 9, public hearing, the vacation of a portion of First Avenue between 3rd Street and 5th Street within the Council District 4, proceeding number VAC 18-0001.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This is in my council district. I'd like to waive the presentation, open and close the public hearing. I don't believe there are any questions, and move the item. And we have a second.
One speaker on this item is Vice Mayor Mac Worthy.
Mr. Worthy, you wanted to speak on the public hearing?
Yeah.
Okay, you're up.
This parcel been there for some time. My main thing is the quality of houses being built in Oak Park. That's the main thing. You're building little dog shacks in Oak Park. People are complaining about, you hear
Mr. Worthy, this item is not an Oak Park item. please speak to the item.
This parcel here is on First Avenue.
This is in District 5, down by West Broadway. Sorry, District 4. It's down off Broadway, down by the river, not Oak Park.
So this is where is First Avenue downtown? We ain't seen no First Avenue downtown.
It's over by CV Circle.
Who?
CV Circle. It's by the mill on Broadway. It's by the river.
We see First Street downtown, Second Street downtown.
This is in District 4. This is not Oak Park, Mr. Worthy.
We'll check back on the map and see when that street was changed, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Worthy. We have a motion, a second. The hearing's been open and closed. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Madam Clerk. We're now on to comments for matters not on the agenda.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I have two speakers, Rebecca Person and then Mac Elworthy.
Ms. Person, welcome.
Hello. I was coming in because it's been 6 months since Stephon Clark has been killed, and this is ridiculous for it to take this long, this investigation. This family deserves justice. I think the Meadowview community deserves justice. It was unjustifiable, and the city manager, I really need you to, you have the authority to get rid of the officers. You really do. This is impact. The other day, the police knocked on my door because I lived near a group home. They thought they went to the wrong house. My kids were afraid to open the door because it was the police. So we shouldn't have to be scared of the police. You guys, as the city, should show we're not going to put up with our police killing people in our community. And also, I watched the video of Darrell Richards. I hadn't seen him in years, but he was my older son who's away at college. Good friend. They went to 7th and 8th grade together at Edward Harris. And it's horrible. It's horrible. I watched the video that the police released. You don't see anything. You don't see that supposedly he pulled a gun out when we seen him. I guess it was part of the video where he's walking in the alley. I didn't see any toy gun or whatever he's supposed to have had in his hand. The video was horrible, and we need to make sure that these cameras honor at all times so that we can have transparency and believe, we don't believe the police, and this just needs to stop. I went to the protest, and I saw people that were speaking on, I guess they were the police side, but the protest wasn't about the police. The protest was about justice for Stephon. And I guess our sheriff invited people to come, which was crazy. I never heard of a public official starting such chaos ever.
Ms. Person, I'm sorry, your time is completed. Will you give us your final thought?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Worthy?
Mr. Worthy, you're up. And you are our final speaker tonight.
People called me on some issues. Now, what we are finding here is facts that the city council paying the police department against the public. That's what's going on here. To keep up. Now, the police department, you're going to have to come out of uniform and gain your own respect from the public. You can invite those people to sit on your farms and sit down and talk to them, and they talk to you as decent. Now, you got that right to do that as police department. But as long as that you deal with the city, you got to go to a call. You got to make that call. The city council make a call. The guy got killed here in Cordova. If you get a call, you got to go, not the city council. And we're finding, too, that on the Black Lives Matter issue on the arena, we find out there's some money exchange hands, and we'd like to see where the investigation is going to go on that. Also, we are gaining some information that a young man have turned himself in that you killed the wrong guy on Stephon Clark. Now, did you do it right? Because we asked about the time limit from that van to that boy's backyard. We asked about that time limit, and nobody said a word. And the FBI, if you ain't closed yours, look and see, did they kill the wrong boy? Because if somebody didn't come forward, it should be investigated. Because this city cannot cough up no $35 million plus more money going to be in on lawsuits. Because it's not the police department, it's the city council. That's where the problem lies. We want to be able to, when you file a suit at the city attorney, instead of being pushed aside and you hire the boys out of San Francisco and LA. And the city attorney become a research person. We want to quit that type of garbage. You are patting the back of big-time law firms is what you're doing. Same thing went out in the arena. you push the attorney aside and you hire some big-time boys. If you didn't, you'd have lost that job. You got to face facts here and wake up to what you are doing to the city. You ain't helping the city. You degrading the city because you are the scum of the earth.
Thank you, Mr. Worthy. That concludes public comment on matters not on the agenda. Members, inadvertently, item 6, which was supposed to be withdrawn, was voted on, but we'll just note for the record that it was withdrawn.
So item 6 was a pass for publication, and that item will be withdrawn and not published.
Yeah. Madam Clerk, will you please read the appointments?
Sure. I have board and commission appointments to read into the record. The Sacramento Youth Commission, appointed to District 1 seat, is Kamal Khan. To District 8 is Aria Russell. And then again, District 8 is Bernadette Tropel.
All right. We have 3 members for council comments and ideas. Councilmember Ashby.
Yeah, I just wanted to announce that there was a public safety pathway kickoff in my district today. If you haven't heard about it, really, this is for my colleagues, I would encourage you to check into it. So it is the first public safety academy on the campus of a high school in Northern California. It's a couple years in the making. Chief Iannucci and Chief Lester, ironically, the 2 highest ranking women in police and fire, helped me with this over the last 2 years working with Natomas Unified School District. And what it means is starting next fall, kids at Indercom High School, which is a campus with 2,300 kids, it's one of the 2 largest in the city with McClatchy, can choose as a career pathway police, fire, or medic, and they can segue into the Sacramento Fire Department or the Sacramento Police Department. And today what we did was we went to the school at lunch and we brought out all of the equipment for police and fire. So kids were able to climb the ladder, use the hose, go in the SWAT vehicles, go in a fire helicopter, sit on some of our motorcycles, and gauge their interest in the program. I think it will be a big success. It checks a lot of boxes that we all talk about up here: pathways for young people, career readiness, reaching out for diversity, and diversifying our police department and our fire department. So I'm very excited about it, and I want to thank the fire department and the police department, and I really want to thank Natomas Unified School District for their partnership to get this done. There will be classes taught by police officers and firefighters in conjunction with teachers on the campus of Indercom starting next year. So it's a great project. Now that they've spent the last couple of years putting it together, I think it's easily replicable. So for any of you that are interested, you could probably meet with Deputy Chief Lester and Chief Iannucci in fire, and they could probably bring up this program in other districts too, in your schools around the districts. I think it would be really wonderful.
Councilmember Harris.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. River Park Neighborhood Association meets tonight at 7:30 p.m. at Fremont Presbyterian Church, room E210. That's 5770 Carlson Drive, and I have an AB 1234 report. I just returned from Jinan, China, where I went on a trip to our sister city in Jinan. It was a wonderful excursion and sort of solidified our relationship in terms of cultural exchange. As well, we signed an MOU between our 2 cities for economic exchange in the realm of Life Science and an Innovation Center here in Sacramento.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Chenier.
Thank you, Mr. Jennings. Just want to congratulate La Familia for 45 years in business. This is their anniversary. They have a large event this Saturday from 10 to 2 at Maple Elementary School.
Councilmember Carr.
Thank you, Councilmember Jennings. Tomorrow well, I shouldn't say tomorrow, Saturday, at Nielsen Park, we're having our 3rd annual Latino Festival. Our staff has done a great job of putting things together for the festival. We're going to have 40, 50 vendors, music, of course. We're going to have the Kings representatives out there. We're going to have people from the soccer league showing our kids the basics of soccer. We're going to have a dog race. It's going to be a huge event, not as big as the one Councilmember Guerrero puts on for Mexican Heritage Week, but it's going to be a huge event at Nielsen Park on Saturday from 11 to 4, and it's absolutely free. The other issue I'd like to raise is I do think it's a legitimate question to ask what's going on with the investigations? Why do investigations take a long time? And Mr. City Manager, could we at some point get a briefing on the steps of the investigation, why they take a long time, and where we are in that process in the case of Stephon Clark? Thank you.
I would support that as well. Councilmember Guerra.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Jennings. First, I'd like to congratulate Councilmember Ashby on her Public Safety Academy. I will say that, though, the Hiram Johnson had the Law Academy since 2016, but adding the fire piece, I think, is a great effort, particularly when we're trying to increase diversity in our fire department. And applications are open now for those who want to go into the Magnet Law Academy at Hiram Johnson as well. I want to thank all the volunteers who helped out for the celebration at the West Steps. Councilmember Carr came by, and we did a great presentation there for Hispanic Heritage Month. We had about 10,000 people show up and televised it live between Sacramento, LA, Texas, and Mexico City. So it was a good event. The last thing I want to also congratulate La Familia on 45 years. Rachel Rios and the team out there have done great work. Mr. Jennings, I want to also, and Madam Clerk, also adjourn in memory. We were going to do this last week. Fortunately, our council meeting was disrupted, but I'd also like to adjourn in memory with respects to our good friend William Campos, better known as Billy Campos, right, the husband of Rachel Rios. He was a Sacramentan who served our city and our country. He was a veteran of the Vietnam War, and after his service, moved to Sacramento, went to Sac State, was a great Hornet. Billy never gave up on any kids. He would always talk to me about the efforts that he started out with Chief Villegas to help the kids out on Franklin Boulevard and Stockton Boulevard, move, find a new path and make sure that even if they got into trouble, he always truly found that he could do that. He focused on some of the toughest kids in the juvenile justice system and to help them find a path. Even though Billy felt when he came back from Vietnam that he was disrespected, he never gave up on supporting his veterans. He was an active member of the VFW, Post 67. You could find him there on Sundays with all of his fellow veterans, enjoying that camaraderie and service to our city. He leaves us here, unfortunately, too early. And with that, Mr. Councilmember Jennings, I'd like to adjourn the memory in the name of Billy Campos.
Thank you. Seeing no more business in front of the council, we want to thank each and every one of you for coming today. We hope that you felt that your voice was heard if you came to the microphone and spoke to us, and if not, we'll be available to talk to you individually. We are now adjourning the meeting in honor of Mr. Bill Campos. This meeting is hereby adjourned.